Hi, my name is Zawadi Morris. I'm founder and publisher of BK Reader. Welcome to Conversations in the Gallery at Richard Beavers Gallery here in Bedford-Stuyvesant. This is the fourth in a series of 6 monthly conversations that we've been holding here in Bedford-Stuyvesant to celebrate some of our local leaders, artisans, and creatives that have done a tremendous job in making an impact, not only here in Brooklyn, but around the world. Today, we're honored to have as our featured guest, Latesha Williams. She is co-founder of the wildly popular card game, Black Card Revoked, and she's also co-producer of the show that is now running on BET. Welcome, Latesha.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Very happy to have you here. So, what a time it is to be Black right now, huh?
What a time it is.
What a time it is. So much is happening right now around the illumination and celebration of Black culture and also the reinforcement of our voice. I mean, starting with the Black Lives Matter movement, to the Me Too movement, to, oh my goodness, so much is happening right now. So
Billion-dollar Black Panther movies.
Movies, yeah, and so much is happening. So I'm really excited. And now the creation of this game, it's like amazing. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
So basically the game, I guess, is like, it's a challenge for us to recall some of the traditions, the histories, the isms that happen in our community that we've kept as a subculture for all this time, but now we're illuminating it, so it's really exciting. So can you explain to us how it works?
Absolutely. So Black Card Revoked is a culture trivia game, as you've explained. It is a celebration of African American culture, childhood, histories, all of that, into a really, really funny format. So the game breaks down into 2 categories, majority rules and correct answer. You pull out a card, you read all 4 choices, you announce the category, and then the magic happens.
The magic.
The magic happens.
The magic in the form of us, what, pretending like we know something we don't know, or
the magic
just the raucous?
The magic in the debate. So a lot of the questions, especially the majority rules, they spark a lovely debate, and it literally takes people down memory lane from when they were down south to their childhoods, wherever they grew up. It just really takes people on a really, really interesting mind travel trip.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your childhood. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Mm-hmm. So I asked you earlier when we spoke to kind of give me a background on what influenced you. Who influenced you as you were coming up? Because you're quite the entertainment and sports mogul. So I wanted to see, like, what was your trajectory? And I asked you, and you said that I was expecting, usually people say, my parents, they mention a mentor. And you said Puff Daddy, because you're originally from Bed-Stuy. And you said Puff Daddy, who's from Harlem, and Michael Jordan, who's from Chicago, of course, and LeBron James.
But born in Brooklyn. Michael Jordan was born in Brooklyn.
That's true. Born in Brooklyn. And you mentioned LeBron James, who's from Akron, Ohio. Mm-hmm. So tell me about why these people influenced you and how they influenced you.
When I was a kid, I knew early on I did not want to have a regular job. My mom's a teacher. My dad worked for transit. I just knew early on I didn't want to do a regular job. Like, going into to do the same thing every day was not my speed. And even academically, what I liked about school was it changed every year. Every semester was something new. So when I saw this Puff Daddy guy, what was he back then? Sean Puffy Combs. He was Sean Puffy Combs back then. I was like, oh, what is this? So I literally collected every single magazine. I used to video record because we didn't have streaming and all of that. So I used to video record all his interviews, and I was like, this is interesting. And then I saw the success, and I was like, whoa.
How old were you at this time?
I was probably in the 7th grade, and I was just so entrenched in it, and I was like, whoa, how did he get there? And then through all the research, I figured out how he got there, and I said, I'm gonna give this a try and see how far I can go.
So who was Puffy to you? Was he just someone that was doing what he wanted to do and living the life he did? Did you understand what it was? Was he a business person to you? Who did he represent to you?
Me, he was a business person. He was this youthful, young, fly guy that saw a world in his particular way. He understood champagne and kind of the better side of life, the nicer things in life. But he was able to break that down for like regular people. He was kind of almost the Black American dream. Like, he had the success, but you also saw him working hard for it. He worked with a lot of people of color around him, and I was like, oh, yes, this is interesting. And that was my first the peak of interest. Like, so everybody around him looks black. He looks like he's having success, and he didn't graduate college. I got to figure out how he did this.
So, what happened next? You got an internship, right?
Yep, I followed my Puff Daddy manual, and I went looking for internships. Ooh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me pull this back up. You went looking for internships, and what did you find, the Source?
Yes, I ended up interning at the Source when I was a freshman, sophomore in high school.
Okay. Wow, that's early.
Yeah, the joys of living in New York. And even before that, I literally, because it's like this Puff Daddy thing, is it real, is it fake? I would sit outside of bad boy offices when I was in 9th grade, like, am I gonna see a glimpse of him? Is he real? And lo and behold, he was a regular businessman going to work in his office, cell phone, like going to meetings. And I was like, wow, I can learn all this just sitting outside of his office. And then around the corner was his restaurant. I was like, oh, he's the real deal. Like I can physically see him going into the office, to the restaurant, phone, and it just blew my mind.
And all of that was just impressive.
You're
like, I want that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. As a child, it was like, oh, ooh. So yeah.
And so what were you doing at Source as an intern?
I was actually in the fulfillment department for back issues. Talk about a weird way to learn the history of hip hop. So people would send in checks and money orders and such to get back orders of the Source, and I was the person to fulfill it. So literally, most of the time I was in this room, like in the back of the office, just stacked to the top with magazines. And after a while, you're just like, this person is on this cover, this date, this month. And it was just most of the time, it's like, oh, I'll take these two. This looks like an interesting, let me take it home and read it. And it somehow provided me with a very interesting foundation of hip hop and business people in hip hop.
Okay. So when did your career take off? What was the turning point?
I think that's so funny. I think it's still waiting to take off. The turning point, I guess, would be when I moved to Ohio to work for LeBron.
Okay.
That would be the turning point.
And you to work with him in what capacity?
He had fired his agents and empowered his friends to run all his off the court matters. I read the article in Ad Age and was super impressed. And I was like, oh, I want in. This kid from Akron, like, gosh, he's not going away.
Did you actually move there to try to get the job, or did you already have the job?
So funny enough, I was a freelance writer. So I was in college. I was in my last year of college, about to graduate, and I was at Vibe. So I learned how to freelance write and all that good stuff. So I got accepted to an MTV program post-graduation. So it was like that May, and then I started the program that July. And I was just like, why not? I'm gonna freelance write in addition to obviously having a full-time job at MTV. And I read the article and said, I'm gonna write an article. I'm gonna write an article. I pitched it to Black Enterprise, they picked it up. So instantly, as I was having the thought of like, oh, this is impressive, then I had the opportunity, like, boom, now I'm on the phone with his right-hand man. So it just was a weird, like, serendipitous moment. I was like, oh, whoa. So
talk about the power of will. You willed a lot of this stuff, it sounds like.
Yeah, so I was writing an article, interviewing questions and all of that, but then it turned into an interview. So then it was like, oh, I'm gonna be in New York and da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, what?
Amazing.
Yeah, my mother, my family did not believe me at all. They thought I was delusional, like, you're not going nowhere. And I was like, I'm telling you, I think I got this in the bag.
And what were you doing once you got to Akron? What did you end up doing for LeBron?
Well, it was a startup in the truest form. So I started as an assistant to three people. I started as assistant to 3 people. So literally it was like putting an office together, like getting the phones, getting the paper, getting the pens. And then it was just building that foundation of all of us working together. It was a super tight team, super small. And it was managing his sponsorships at that time. So it really was a family affair to rally around this superstar, to get him to, understand the concepts, move forward, make sure his brand partners understood what he was, what his brand stood for, all of that kind of stuff. And then as we kept growing, people would leave to pursue other endeavors, and it was just like, oh, moved up the ranks. So, yeah.
Okay. So how did that lead to, how many years you did that for? About what?
7.
7 years? Okay. And then how did that led you to eventually meet the partner that you have now?
Yes.
And you all came up with the concept of Black Card Revoked.
Yep.
And what's so funny is that I remember about 2 years ago when there was a hashtag going around called Black Thanksgiving. And it was so hilarious to me that you saw all these memes about what we did during Thanksgiving, and they were so reminiscent and so funny. And I thought to myself, this would be so funny to make into a game, and now here it is. Yeah, here it is. And you've done it. So how did you all come up with the idea? When did you come up with the idea, and how did you pull together the questions? Did you comb the internet? Did you meet with people? Were there focus groups?
So we combed the questions through a combination of that. So 2015 was the year we said, oh my God, this is the thing. This shared experience amongst African Americans is real, and Twitter proved our theory correct.
Black Twitter
Yes. Proved our theory correct. We were like, we knew it. We would always to each other laugh and joke when we would be around all these gazillion-dollar ball players. Listen, it don't matter how rich you get, it's just certain things about being Black. Everybody understands,
yes.
Whether you are worth $250 million or you are worth $100,000
yes.
or $20.
Yes, like Oprah could play this game and probably can.
Absolutely. Yes. Everybody knows about their fried fish sandwiches, what their mama used to say when somebody ear itching, like everybody knows.
Yes, yes.
So once we figured out, like, okay, the theory has been proved, it was just like, pew! And then we literally just started bouncing questions off of each other. We definitely combed, we're analytics heavy, so we absolutely looked through Black Twitter, a lot of popular blogs, a lot of what is the conversation? What is the conversation? What is the thing that's getting people riled up? What are the things they love? What are the things they hate? And then we created the questions.
Okay.
And got samples printed out.
This is the game here.
That's our latest edition.
This is the original flavor.
Yep, 3rd edition.
Okay, 3rd edition. Yeah, I was going to ask you about the editions. So so let's take a look. For those of you all who haven't seen the game actually on BET, we're going to take a look and check it out. And it's hosted by Tony Rock.
Yep. Comes on tonight at 10
o'clock.
o'clock.
Sound. Okay, there's another one. One more. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So apparently that's it. So So to me, what's the funnest thing about this game is there's actually a lot of the answers are regional. Mm-hmm. So certain things, we do certain things in certain parts of the country. In the South, if you're from the South, if you're from the Midwest, there's certain things you do. So the game can be interpreted so many ways, and I think that kind of raises the stakes. And I love the fact that you let the audience weigh in, because that kind of it equalizes everything, and it's like, okay, in general, this is what we've decided. So it's a lot of fun. I watched the game. Tony Rock's is an amazing host, and You know, so I want to again congratulate you for that.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, yes.
And Tony Rock is from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy too.
Yes,
and
he
if you
is.
ever meet him in person, that is like the first thing he says.
He talks
like,
about.
I'm from Decatur.
So, okay, you have some questions for me. We're gonna play a
I
couple of questions, yes. And because I have not, I've looked through the game, but I have not actually played it with a group of people. It's gonna be the next time I have a gathering of girls, we're gonna definitely do this. But.
Oh, well, we have an addition for that too. It's called Girls Night Out.
Okay.
You know, we try to cater to everybody. I have been blessed with an array of experiences internationally, and it was like, oh, I know so many people from so many different places. Ding! And now all of my friends, when I have questions and we do play tests, my friends are always super involved. Like, no, girl, you gotta do this.
Right.
So, yeah, it's always a family affair for sure.
Yes.
But yes, I do have some questions for you.
I'm ready.
I tried to keep them mostly, you know, majority of them a correct answer.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Answer the question. The category is history. Correct answer. In which city was Martin Luther King Jr. killed? A, Atlanta, Georgia. B, Memphis, Tennessee. C, Washington, D.C. Or D, Birmingham, Alabama?
Memphis, Tennessee.
You are correct. Okay, we might need some help from y'all on this one. Majority rules. The category is life.
Okay.
Answer the question. If mama sent you to the store with $5, what were you supposed to bring back? A, a cold pop. B, a lottery ticket.
Her
C,
change.
Exactly, that was D. See, everybody got that because your mama wants a change.
She wants her change.
Okay, answer the question. What kind of fish is best to fry for a fish sandwich?
I already know this.
Go ahead.
Come on now.
A, whiting. B, tilapia. C, perch. Or D, catfish.
Catfish.
And
So what's the majority say?
whiting.
Are you kidding me? It's Chicago. I'm from Chicago, and we eat catfish. We eat catfish and spaghetti on Thursdays. Okay.
Exactly the point of why we created the game. Just that little question, depending on where you're from, because
Yes.
you're from Chicago. A lot of people here from New York. So it's just different variations of like.
I actually prefer whiting now. It's changed. I think it's changed over time. I think it's changed. No, I'm not backsliding. I don't like the taste of catfish now, but. Okay.
Answer the question. Category is history. Who wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing, aka the Negro National Anthem? A, Langston Hughes. B, James
Weldon Johnson.
James Weldon Johnson. C, Booker T. Washington. Or D, Maya Angelou.
James Weldon Johnson.
You are correct. Okay, I got it. This is a good one. This is a good follow-up to the food question. Life is the category.
Okay.
What do you eat on your grits?
Oh no! Oh no! There's so many things we eat on our grits. It's a preference. Okay, but go ahead.
A, cheese. B, salt and pepper. C, sugar. Or D, butter.
All of the above. Okay, no, I have butter and sugar. But I know people who have cheese. In the South, they have cheese.
Yes.
So, I don't know. What's the right answer?
The majority.
What's the majority?
Audience, what's the majority?
Sugar and butter.
So I always thought it was cream of wheat too, but I have a friend in Chicago and he was like, no, we eat sugar in our grits. And I was like, what?
Butter and sugar. Butter and sugar.
Okay, another question. See, everybody's still going with it. Answer the question. The category is history. Which historically black sorority was founded first? A, Delta Sigma Theta, B, Zeta Phi Beta, C, Alpha Kappa Alpha, D, Sigma Gamma Rho.
That one's a hard one. This is going to be a guess. I'm not in a sorority, but I'm going to guess AKAs.
Great guess. Okay. You are correct. Answer the question. Life is the category. What does the word thought stand for? A, the hoes of tomorrow. B, temporary hoe on time. C, that hoe over there. Or D, it doesn't stand for nothing.
I think it's C.
You are correct. Imagine asking that with your grandmother in the room, and she's like, what?
That hoe over there.
Temporary hoe on time sound right. Y'all know how grandmas get with words. It's like, what? She might know, right? Okay, answer the question. Categories music. Okay. In what year did Cash Money Records take over?
I just gotta answer it?
No, I'm gonna read you the choices.
Oh, okay.
A, 2001 to 2002. B, 1999 to 2000. C, 1997 to 1998. D, 2004 to 2005.
I'm gonna say the late 90s to the early 2000s.
So 99, 2000 or 97, 98?
99, 2000?
Yeah. Sing that song. Y'all know that
song. All right, we're gonna stop for a second because I still have more stuff I want to ask you. All right, so I want, because of your success and your tenacity and your determination, I want you to share with our viewers and our audience members a nugget of advice. Think about what business move you made that really kind of was turning the corner for you, business decision that you made that has kind of propelled your career that you would share with other people who are interested in getting in the entertainment and or sports industry, such as yourself.
Never doubt your ability to take a risk. Mm-hmm. I think taking risks for me is probably the pattern in my success. From moving to Ohio when everybody thought I was crazy, and I thought they were all crazy. My family thought I was out of my mind. No one thought it made any sense what I was doing. I think one person said, no, this is gonna be amazing. You're gonna see the world. You're gonna see a whole nother world you've never seen. But everybody else thought I was crazy. But I just saw it. So it was like, I'm taking this risk. And then leaving, coincidentally, was the same risk. I felt like I learned what I needed to there. And again, everybody thought I was crazy. And I was just like, for me personally, my journey doesn't stop here. So never doubting yourself and always taking a risk on what your gut tells you. Mm-hmm. Those are two nuggets I would say have served me well, because I just be jumping out the window with stuff.
So basically, forcing yourself to move out of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
Have you found that in those times where you've pushed yourself out of comfort is when you've excelled the most? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It is not, I just know. It takes some time to actually be like, whoa, what did I do? But you got to pray a lot. And hopefully you got some good friends. It's like, you're going to be fine.
And that's also, I thought you were going to mention some legal matters, because you had mentioned to me before that, learning how to navigate contracts was important, and having a good team that you trust around you.
Absolutely.
Those are important as well.
Those are super important. I feel like as a child growing up in Brooklyn, that is just something I was never exposed to. I didn't have to be exposed to it. I was exposed to it in business. But it is definitely so key to being successful. I think seeing the Tony Braxtons and the TLCs, and it's like, you might want to learn what the legal language looks like before you sign a contract. I thought about it from that as a fan coming up in music, like, wow, nobody read their contracts. But as an adult now, and as an adult that has been blessed to learn how to read contracts, it is so essential. Oh my God, it's so essential. And even as an adult, I literally have days where I'm like, why didn't anybody tell me about this thing called law school? Like, it is a lot easier to take your LSAT than your GMAT. What a thought. If you're not good at math, you might not want to take a GMAT. You might want to do LSAT instead. It's a lot more achievable to do well on it, I like to say. But very, very, very big thing I've learned in creating success, reading contracts and thoroughly understanding them and always asking questions.
So the game is doing so well. It's growing, obviously. You've created other versions. You have Girls Night Out.
Yes.
The Petty Edition.
Yes.
The Black History Edition. The Jollof and Fufu. What is that? Is that from the
Y'all
continent?
know. Nigeria. It's our game for our Nigerian brothers and sisters.
Okay. And then you have Our First Family.
Yes. Celebration of the Obamas. Because man, oh man, do we miss them.
Yes, we do. We do. So now what's next? Are you planning to expand the game with more versions? Are you trying to take it in another direction to a next level? What's happening with the show? What can we expect from you? Because you obviously have this talent, ability, and skill with manifesting. So what's next?
Listen, I just say God got me on speed dial for some reason. I don't know why. I'm just grateful for it. It's very weird. What's next? What's next is hopefully a season 2. That is in the negotiations. What's next? Our 4th edition will be out in October, so we're gonna say Black Card Revoked Original Edition, 4th edition. That's coming up next. A Petty Edition 2, which we do in partnership with the Shade Room, which is the big gossip online site. What's next? The sky is the limit for us. We are definitely trying to figure out a Latino card revoked.
Okay, that should be fun.
That has been such a unique project because again, it's very much like Black Card Revoked. It's so many experiences to include in it. So we are working with a partner on that as well. Yeah, the sky is the limit. I want do movies, more shows, all of that good stuff's coming in the future.
Okay, sounds good. So, now I have a surprise for you. I've done my own little research with friends and families, and we pulled together a couple of questions that I'm going to be throwing at you. So I'm hoping they're not in your cards. I've looked through the cards. I don't think they're in the cards, but if they are, you're lucky. So, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. The first category is called, You Should Know This or Else.
I'm scared.
Okay. When someone is described as red, that means they are A, part Native American, B, embarrassed, C, light complexion, or D, angry.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Because that can be B or C. Red bone is normally light skin. So red could very well be embarrassed.
But in the Black community, when we say you're that red girl over there.
Light skinned.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what American state is spelled with a humpback and a crooked letter? A, Alabama, B, Mississippi, C, Tennessee, or D, Arkansas?
A humpback in a crooked letter. What is a humpback?
The piece.
Oh. Oh. Hump. The letter P.
You've never heard of M, I, crooked letter, I, crooked letter, humpback, I.
No, I've heard the crooked letter, but not the humpback. See, this is why we play test. This is exactly why we play test.
Okay, at family gatherings, what meal is so sacred no one will touch it unless they know and trust the hands that made it? A, the upside down cake, B, the collard greens, C, the macaroni and cheese, or D, the potato salad?
Again, that's a good one for debate. Macaroni and cheese and potato salad are always the two dishes that is like, who made that? If so-and-so ain't making, I ain't eating it.
Right.
And people
But
get
there's one that really,
I'm gonna go with potato salad.
Yes,
I'm
potato salad.
Store-bought potato salad. Ooh, child, that is an argument.
It's a mistake.
Who bought this store-bought potato salad in
Yes,
my house?
that's a problem.
That's my grandmother for sure.
Okay, the second category is heard on social media, since you comb social media. Okay, so when someone's got weight, when something's got weight, it's A, heavy, B, a problem, C, a good thing, or D, a relief.
Weight, W-E-I-G-H-T. See, I'm thinking of Brooklyn streets and watching too many gangster movies. Right?
I didn't say heat. I said weight.
Weight is when you pushing them things in the hood. Exactly. Pharmaceutical business in the hood. But we talking about on social media.
When something's got weight.
I'm gonna go with it's heavy. No.
Wait, what?
Let's say heavy like.
Yes, C, a good thing.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay, what occupation does Spice Bay have? A, exotic dancer. Stop it. A, exotic dancer. B, butcher. C, singer. Or D, baker.
Okay, I'm trying to get the bays together. It was the breakup bay boy that broke up with the girlfriend and she cried. Spice Bay. Oh, it's Salt Bay.
Salt Bay. Yes.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Salt Bay. Yes.
Oh, who weirdly has nasty food at his restaurants. I was just reading that the other day and I was cracking up. I was dead reading that the other day in reviews.
Okay, so it's A, exotic dancer, B, butcher, C, singer, or D, baker.
B, butcher.
Yes. Yay.
And he doesn't speak English.
Oh, he doesn't?
He does not speak a lick of English.
Wow.
It is fascinating how people make internet stars these days.
Okay, when a person has serious ends, they've got A, a large derriere. B,
Ends?
Ends.
Oh, E-N-D-S.
Yes.
Okay.
A, a large derriere. B, a solution to a problem. C, a lot of money. Or D, bad breath.
C, a lot of money.
Exactly. Yay! Okay, third category is it's part of history. What day of the month in June does Juneteenth refer to? A, June 13th, B, June 9th, C, June 19th, or D, June 10th?
I'm gonna go with A.
Okay, what's June 19th? C, June 19th.
Oh.
It's like
The answer in my head wasn't even there. I was thinking the 15th. I was like, the 13th feels a little early.
Okay, so which music artist was given the nickname as his last name Grits because his wife threw hot grits on him? A, Marvin Gaye. B, Sam Cooke. B, Sam Cooke. C, Al Green. Or D, Lou Rawls.
It's not A or D. And the B was Sam Cooke and C was
Al Green.
Al Green.
Yes.
Yes.
Al Grits. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, the last category is your grandmama says. When your grandmama says to put on some shears, she's telling you to put on A, gloves, B, pantyhose, C, socks, or D, earmuffs.
B, pantyhose.
Yes.
Because you can't go to church without your pantyhose on.
Okay, when your grandmama says to go get the asafoetida, she's referring to A, a belt, B, the telephone book, C, a homespun medicine, or D, a home-cooked meal.
Can you say that for me? Asafoetida?
Asafoetida.
I feel like it's B because you would get the telephone book from which she whipping you, but then why would she want to protect you from the whipping? So maybe it's A.
A was belt.
Belt.
Okay, what is it? Who said C? She knows, yes! You heard of asafoetida? Yes.
Wait, what is C?
C is a homespun medicine. It basically, asafoetida is basically the term for anything that's going to heal you. It could be stomachache, headache, you know.
Like a hottie toddy.
Yes, basically. Robitussin. It's the way we say Robitussin.
Yeah. Asafoetida. That's a good one.
Maybe acetaminophen. I think we mixed it all together. Okay, last one. When grandmama tells you that your grandfather's got the sugar, that means he wants A, kiss, B, a cup of coffee, C, a cold shower, or D, insulin.
Whoever wrote those, great job. He got the sugar.
When your granddaddy got the sugar, oh honey, he got the sugar now. So does that mean he wants A, a kiss, B, a cup of coffee, C, a cold shower, or D, insulin?
I'm gonna go with D, insulin.
Yes. Great job, yay.
Oh, that was fun.
See, you get a chance to play and you get quizzed yourself. You need to put me on your research team.
I do.
I have so much more where that comes from. And the thing about it is that you don't even realize that these are isms in the community until you get out and you're talking about it and no one knows what you're talking about except another person from the community. And you're like, okay, this is one of our isms. You grow up thinking it's normal. Like, this is funny, you guys don't think this is weird. Did your grandparents or your mother actually bake turkey in a brown bag?
No.
Has anybody heard about that? That's a southern thing in Mississippi. Yes, okay, yeah. My mother taught me to bake Thanksgiving turkey in a big brown bag, to cover it in a bag and roll it up. Yeah, very southern. My family's from Mississippi, so very southern. And and it cooks, it's nice and juicy. Wow. And yeah.
No, we did it in the everybody got this pot, that black pot with the top, with the speckles on it. Yeah, that pot.
With the speckles.
Yeah.
We later evolved to that. But
how do you cook a turkey in a brown bag? I'm fascinated by that one.
Well, I mean, you have to still put it in some sort of pan, but you cover it. You put it inside of a brown bag and you roll the bag up and cover it.
Wow.
And it somehow doesn't burn. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah. Huh. There's a lot of southern isms, especially in the deep south. So
yeah.
You got probably additions coming for
you sound like you'd be a great writer for the old school 3. Yeah.
Okay, well thank you, Leticia, so much for sitting with us. We so appreciate it. We're so honored, so appreciate it. And love your time. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any questions for Leticia? Yes. We can take questions.
Oh.
You kind of stole the thunder, but I wrote a question for you myself.
Oh. You stole the thunder.
What's the worst thing about celebrating the holidays with family? Is it A, sitting at the kids' table? Or you might not be at the table. B, cleaning up after the meal. C, not being able to walk to the store with your cousins. Or D, answering, how's school?
I'm gonna go with C.
C, not being able to walk to the store with your cousins?
Yes.
Because that got a bunch of different meanings.
Yes, it does. Yes. That's so funny. We have Any other questions out there?
How did you go from idea to actually making the game?
My business partner, Jay, he is, we've always said we're Huck and Olivia from Scandal. Like, I'm Olivia and he's Huck. It's just this weird thing we do. We did a ton of research. We called a ton of people. We read a ton of articles. We were those kids, like, every day cold calling a bunch of different needs to go from idea to actual, like, physical product. Thankfully, we were able to figure that out through other people and their success, and that's kind of how we did it. When the sample came, I was like, oh my God, the calls were worth it. It's literally, today I was listening to the Making Obama podcast, and they were saying they put him in a white room and just gave him a phone to fundraise. And I was like, oh, I know that feeling. I know that feeling when you just call, because you're trying to gather so much information. We weren't gathering money, but yeah, lots and lots of cold calls, lots of people and places to get information.
Do you, like, the process with the show, like, how involved are you with it?
We are very involved. When we were on set, literally, I always get the calls when they would hire our writing team, et cetera, et cetera. So to be on set with all of those people, like, oh, this is not it, y'all. So when we got to set to shoot, we literally were like, we gotta rewrite some of this. I don't know where the direction kind of went, a little left from our calls, but now that we're all in person, let's rehash. So we were very involved. The network was super open to our opinions and really making everybody understand our structure, the beats we try to hit. So we were super duper involved to a fault. It was very, very much a unique experience, TV.
Were you a part of selecting Tony Rock, or was that a big part of your decision and co-producer?
So I love that Tony Rock was from Brooklyn. So when I got the list of options, I was like, okay, I see what y'all doing here. The network really sold me on him, for sure. He's like on fire right now. He's on a couple of different shows. The fact that, he's Chris Rock's brother definitely was like, the name recognition is probably very, very valuable. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So, yeah. The network kind of sold me on him. And then he was from Brooklyn, and I was like, and then when I met him, I was like, okay, I'm sold. You got me.
Mm-hmm. I think what has impressed me the most is that you're willing to really get on your knees and actually do the dirty work, the hard work.
Oh, it's a lot of ugly work.
And I think that's important for people to know as well, that it doesn't just, it's more than just, okay, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm thinking about. It's actually making it happen, doing the work that most people wouldn't do. So, and that's also something that I apply for myself is, often when I'm in a position where I'm like, I don't think that this is going to happen, I can't do this, I challenge myself. I was like, this is exactly the place where most people stop. And so whenever I come to that place when I know most people are going to stop, that's when I push through. So I love hearing that from you, and that you're willing to just jump in and do that.
I am so blessed to have a business partner who thinks exactly that way. And again, because working for a superstar, they get to be the star, it was very much like, man, we are always doing the ugly, dirty work. Woo. So it was a very easy transition for us, like, okay, here's the plan. We're gonna try it this way. If it doesn't work, we'll pivot and try this. So we've never been afraid to just get in those trenches and grind it out together, thankfully. It's a lot easier having a partner to grind it out with you. I will not lie about that. Because on those bad days, it's like, oh my God, is this gonna work? And that reassuring of each other.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Helpful, for sure.
Any other questions?
With the kind of like Black renaissance or revolution that's happening right now, you mentioned that the sky is the limit with the brand. In like 20 years, let's say, like, where do you see the brand, or what are some of the items on your bucket list, and like your dream come true type moves? Like, where do you see this in the future?
My dream come true would be a feature film that grosses $200 million. That is, directed by like F. Gary Gray. No. I love Ryan Coogler.
Yes.
Love Ryan Coogler. I love his story. Football was his thing. He played against Marshawn Lynch in high school, and then realized it couldn't work. He pivoted and figured out something else. I love his story. So Ryan Coogler directed, blockbuster. He can have Black Panther now, I can wait a little longer until he's not as hot from Black Panther. But yeah, that's kind of the goal. Cooking shows, yeah, I could go forever. Cookbooks, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, so you cook?
Oh yeah, I cook.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Oh, I'm not a chef, but I do. If my Southern mother, who was born in Brooklyn but spent a lot of her time down south, and my grandmother, oh God, they have been so, no, you are a woman, you got to know how to make certain things. So, you know, your great grandmama's recipe, and that kind of stuff.
Hi, Leticia.
Hi.
Exactly. So I'm interested in knowing, like, what are some like challenges you've faced, like, in the business, either as a woman of color or just in general?
Challenges I face in the business. I think the biggest challenge has been expressing the success to people that are not familiar with the game. The success is kind of like literally people go, I don't know about that. And then you pull out your numbers and all of that good stuff, and you're like, no, it's real. The TV show probably has been the biggest help, as we have so many people reach out to us now. It's been the biggest help. But being a woman of color definitely has proven to be such a unique experience. What's funny is I face really interesting dialogue from other people of color. It's fascinating. It's almost like no one believes that this kind of celebration, like, people are buying into it. So that's probably been the like, but ain't you Black? Don't you get why it's amazing? And that's probably been the biggest like, huh? I don't understand how people don't understand this for me.
Well, it worked, so congrats.
Thank you. She has had her hand up forever over here.
What are your thoughts about other people, other races, white people in particular, playing the game? And I only ask because I had an experience at work where there was a party and it was a group of white people playing the game, and all of the Black people were standing around them while they were playing it, and we were kind of like, I don't know, this is...
Oh, that's odd. Oh, well,
They paid for it.
so what's funny is,
I said they paid for it too. I was kind of like, okay, they bought it, but still I was kind of, in my feelings a little bit.
so when we created the game, we understand the magic that is being Black, but we also understood there are other people that don't. So we also wanted this to be educational for those people. I was in Minneapolis recently, and I had a lot of interracial couples approach me like, my white husband beat me at it. So it's very like, we've even had a famous interracial couple, Gabe and Babe, they've played it, and I'm like, wow. So it was definitely one of the things, just as an educational tool to people that aren't Black, on why we're so dope. So when I see white people pick up and go, education is good. You guys want to know, you care about being sensitive, and you want to know a little bit more. So I actually love to hear those stories, like, it works, it's working. And we've also done diversity inclusion for a lot of corporations who use the game to bridge everybody together, to open up certain dialogues about culture and what certain things mean and how things are interpreted. So for us, it's been like one of our goals in creating it, to educate everyone else who's not of us. So I love hearing those stories, like, oh yeah, it's working. We're gonna take over the world with our Black culture. So that's my positive, obviously, outlook on it, that we're gonna take over the world with our Black culture.
What has been your best experience throughout the journey?
My best experience.
And it could be something minor, like you just being at the right place at the right time, not thinking that you should have been in Ohio, or not thinking that you should have printed these cards. Like, what turned into something that was minute at one point and then ended up being a great experience?
See, I have a moment and then I have an experience. The great moment was Kevin Hart and The Rock playing it. That was like the, oh my God, what? That was that moment, which actually led to like a meeting with Kevin Hart's team. So I think meeting all of the other superstar teams, it's like, as the person that was once a part of that team, sitting on the other side of the table has been such a like, oh my God, and this is why I knew I had to not sit on that side of the table anymore. It's so much fun over here with everyone's like trying to reel you in. It's a lot more fun when you know your value and worth and everybody else respects it and realizes it. So yeah, the experience, those big meetings with those A-list teams, it's like, oh, little old me. So that's been the best. Yes.
So I don't have a question, but I want to say thank you. Too often I'm in a setting where, and I've read an article recently about how as Black people, we feel like we have to align with whiteness to feel accepted at work, and even among groups of predominantly Black people, it's like, oh, I know this rock song too, but I think this is something exciting because it gives us the opportunity to like just be excited about being Black while playing a game. Like if you're playing Cards with Humanity, then of course, like, yes, some Black people didn't know about the Harry Potter, you know, what did Lord Voldemort do that was funny, you know, but at the same time, like, I think it's fun to have something where even amongst other Black people, like you said, getting pushback from people of color not understanding, having something where it's like, you can be proud to know this, and you can be proud to be like, from a small town country boy living in New York and take pride in like, I like sugar on my grits. You have eaten grits, let me make the grits, and like at the same time learn something from one of your brothers or sisters from a culture that hasn't necessarily been touched by the Western spoon, if you will. So I think, like, thank you. Like, I think it's exciting to take this home to my, like, not interracial, but like almost interracial relationship and be like, so you can be Black, and like I'm glad you like are like aligning with Black. Let me show you how to really do it. Like I like this. It's exciting.
Oh, thank you. That was part of my experience moving to the Midwest. Like I am from New York. I went to school on the East Coast. I'm from New York. So it was a culture shock, like Cleveland, Akron, culture shock. And my business partner, he's from the Midwest. So when he comes here, it's like, whoa, this is fast. Everybody from the Midwest is like, whoa, it makes so much more sense when you visit New York. You're like, I get it. It's just so fast.
Right.
So no, it was a part of my experience that I wanted to share with everybody else, this educational thing.
And kind of bridging off of what you said too, it's what's also beautiful about having a game like this is that it kind of reinforces the fact that we have a culture. I think that we sometimes take that for granted, and I've even had conversations, I'm recalling one that I had in college my freshman year, and I met this guy from Liberia, and that's when I first started learning about Liberia, how we recolonized back there, and he said that one of the things that a lot of Africans think about African Americans is that we're void of culture, and I'm like, absolutely not. And he's like, well, where's you all's culture? You got stripped of your culture, and we're constantly told that we were stripped of our culture, we don't really have roots, we don't really have. This shows how much culture that we've transported from the continent and also kind of changed around and made our own. And it goes on and on and on, and the influence as well. When you think about the diaspora from the United States, our influence in the diaspora is so huge. Music, hip hop, jazz, blues, you know, everything you can think of, like everything really comes from African American culture, and I think that lived experience of really trying to push through it, you know. So we're here, and so I love this. It kind of reminds us we're here.
We are,
and it's real,
because the rest of the world will have us thinking like,
yeah,
it's not real. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah,
you're making these things up when it's very, very real.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Did you bring cards? I think she brought. If you guys,
I gave some.
Okay, if you guys don't have the game, she brought some for purchase. So we'll have.
Well, Richard has the power for giveaways today.
Okay. Oh, we're doing giveaways. Okay, so you know what? Do you have some more cards in your some more questions?
I do. Okay. Ready?
Yes.
The category is life. Correct answer. According to Mama, what does it mean if your hand itches?
I got it. Don't say it, because we're trying to do a raffle. Money, money, money.
Yes, you are correct. You about to get some cash. Okay, we're gonna stay with Mama. Everybody Mama seems to have taught them the same thing. So the category is life. According to Mama, what does it mean if she dreamt of fish last night?
Somebody's pregnant. Somebody's pregnant.
Well, somebody over here won. I don't know. Y'all all yelled it out at the same time.
I can add this to my other two.
Oh, yay! And I think that's my last question I got. Yeah, that's the last question I got.
You have any more questions, Zawadi, for that?
I went through all of them with her. Let me see. I actually had pulled together 20 and narrowed it down to 10. I'm trying to remember if I could think of some of the ones let me think. Let's see. Oh, I got one. No, I'm not gonna say grandma. When you about to get a hiding, that means that you're about to take a bubble bath. You're about to play hide and seek. B or C, you're about to get a spanking.
C.
He's the winner.
Do we know what that generates from? Hiding?
Hiding from the belt.
The royal high.
Hide on a cow.
Yes.
Ooh, y'all smart.
That comes from slavery, actually. Yeah. You're about to get skinned.
I think it means you're gonna tear your hide up.
Yeah. Oh, but is this really a hide? Okay. Oh, a honey. Oh, ooh. Do you have any for us?
I could, but I wasn't thinking along those lines.
Has anyone here ever heard of We Sorts? We Sorts? Yeah, that one's kind of regional. We Sorts is a group of, it's inbred, the inbred people from Maryland, and they married them to the cousins and stuff to keep things light skinned, and they were called. So you have heard of them, yeah? And they
We
start.
haven't heard of those, but I think there's a culture around people from certain regions that marry distinct.
They try to cousins to stay light skinned, yeah.
Wow.
Creole people, there's also like the side of
That
being
same
Creole
thing.
That's also the same. We're
They
not
have this
black, we're not
subculture.
white, we're us.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes from. We Sorts. It's we sort of people. You
In North Carolina, it's a town called Ahoskie.
Ahoskie?
In Ahoskie, North Carolina, back in the 50s and that time period, the light-skinned people, married each other to keep the color in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And they treated the darker ones just like white people did.
But
Yep.
if you called them white, they would be offended, which was weird.
Yeah.
Like if you called them white,
They
like,
would be, yeah.
no.
They're like, we are who we are, yeah. Yep.
It's deep.
What a great history lesson.
Yeah, there's a lot.
You asked me to come up with something.
Okay.
This is very, very, just what does fitting mean?
I'm about to. We sometimes say finna
Or fix it.
or fixin'. Yep.
So like I have one, my grandmother used to say sapsucker.
Sapsucker?
Have you heard of that term?
Yes.
Ooh.
No, what is that?
Like it would be referring to like why are you hanging with them? Like they're sapsuckers.
Oh, okay.
Is that the same as riffraff?
Nice.
You know, it would be really, that would be fun to have a party and come up with, like a party to come up with questions. You know, to kind of pull what people know.
But look how educational it's been.
Yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of things are regional, even if you're like in the South, like let's say Georgia, South Carolina, it'll be different than Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah.
Which
that's
is
true.
different than North Carolina.
Which is different than North Carolina.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Virginia.
Something different than the West
Yep.
Coast.
Yep.
So that's always fun.
So, I got a question that could be your cards, for your regional cards. What does it mean when your grandma say, go get the switch?
That already made me.
Get the switch off the tree because you get the beat.
Yep. Now you had your hand raised. I'm so sorry. What, did you want to ask something?
Yeah, what I wanted to ask you was, because of the success of the game, has a lot of Black people come to you about new things that they have learned, or things that they wouldn't have previously learned from maybe being sheltered? I mean, I know for me, like, it wasn't until my second year in college that I knew that there was a Black national anthem, or that there was Black Greek organizations, just very a lot of things that I didn't necessarily, or even the Hidden Figures people, that there's Black engineers and stuff like that. So.
We have definitely had a lot of notes come through our customer service team. A lot of them have been very emotional. It makes people think of, people that have passed in their family. A lot of like letters about grandma. And my grandmother used to say this, and my auntie used to say that, and people have expressed so much gratitude and emotion in how it brought their family together during holidays, because it's a game everybody can play, and a lot of people have definitely shared that sentiment of like, thank you for this. It connected me socially, historically, and emotion, with my family, with my friends, and my community, and it made me go research some stuff too. So absolutely, people have let us know those very kind sentiments.
Does anyone know the generic term for an Asian person?
I'm scared.
I used to look at my grandmother like, what did you say? For any Asian, it didn't matter where you came from in Asia, you were a Chinaman. You were always. You say what?
I was expecting something else.
Oh, no, not derogatory. She just, no. There's some derogatory too, but no. Everybody was a Chinaman. I was like, Mom, Grandma, he's Japanese. She's like, that's what I said. Or wrench. Go wrench it off.
Yep, go wrench it off. What tools do you need to wrench it off?
All right, so, okay. We have the step and repeat over there if you guys want to take some photos. I personally, I'm going to have to run, but we'll turn the lights on. We can get some photos, and that's it.
Thank you all for coming.
Cue the music.